Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have some interesting, exciting news from the Nightwish camp. It says here on the official Nightwish website, Nightwish announces new album Yesterwind. This was posted yesterday, April 30th. Now they have posted a picture of the album cover, I believe, with obviously the album title. Looks really cool, looks really interesting. Looks like maybe a slight diversion from Endless Form's Most Beautiful, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens when the album comes out. So we're just going to kind of read the press release from the official Nightwish website, speculate a little bit about what the album may or may not sound like. And it says here, Yesterwind is a fantastical voyage through time, memory, and the better angels of human nature. I had to read that a couple times because at first it looked like the better angles of human nature. 3 years in the making, we're thrilled beyond words to share our 10th album with the world on September 20th. So we've still got yet another 3 or 4 months to wait. Nightwish is definitely not going to give us any of the goods right away, but it looks like they're releasing a single at the end of this month, May 21st. The first single, Perfume of the Timeless, will mark the beginning of this new era and will be released on May 21st. Pre-save the single, so I'm not sure what that means. If you click on this link here, let's see here. Follow the link, and it brings you to links for Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal, and YouTube Music. So I'm assuming they're just trying to, maybe see if they can make some legitimate sales and see who wants to buy the single first. I'm assuming they're going to release it as a free, music video or a free music, whether just a video with, like a lyrical video on their channel, or maybe it'll be an official music video. Who knows? Hopefully this is going to be a really strong single from the new Nightwish album. And we're actually going to read the track list here. And then once we get finished reading, kind of running through the track list, we'll kind of just based on the titles of the songs, based on the titles and the look, the album cover, we can maybe potentially speculate as much as possible within reason what this new album Yesterwind is going to be like from Nightwish. Now, Nightwish has stated that they're not going to be touring this album in the traditional sense. They're going to be hanging up their spurs from touring and just to kind of focus on, their personal lives, which I think is great. So the first title is obviously Yesterwind. Okay, so that's the first track of the album. So that must be a pretty strong song. Second song is called An Ocean of Strange Islands. That sounds super cool. The Antikythera Mechanism. That sounds interesting. Track number 4 is titled The Day of ... I wonder what that's all about. Track number 5 is called Perfume of the Timeless. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So the first song is not the first single. The first single is going to be Perfume of the Timeless. So just a little mistake there. I apologize. Track number 6 is called Sway. Track number 7, The Children of Ata, or Ata. Track number 8, titled Something Whispered Follow Me. Track number 9, titled Spider Silk. That sounds really interesting, esoteric. Track number 10 is Hiraeth. That's interesting. Track number 11, The Weave. And lastly, but not leastly, track number 12 is Lantern Light. And I think that's a brilliant number of tracks for an album. It's digestible. It's not obscene. Once you start getting into 14, 15 tracks, you've gone overboard. I think they could have maybe possibly scraped this down to maybe 10 or 11 tracks, but who knows? Hopefully all the songs will be strong. And it's difficult to speculate on what the concept, what the concept of this album is going to be, but I do believe there is somewhat of a concept just based on Nightwish's trajectory and based on sort of the direction that they've gone post Imaginarum, right? It looks like it's sort of maybe going to follow in the vein of Endless Forms as well as Human Nature, but maybe a little bit different, maybe going back a little bit to the old style, musically, lyrically, possibly. I'm not expecting that we're going to get, Dead Boys Poem Part 2 or Bless the Child Part 2. I don't think I'm going to hold my breath for that anytime soon. But hopefully it's a little bit of a progression, perhaps. Maybe it's a little bit of a diversion / addition / sequel to some of the cool concepts that have been introduced. Now, having said that, if you guys have watched my channel, if you've watched my Nightwish videos over the past year, you'll know that sort of their newer albums, their newer lyrical direction in Nightwish is not my favorite. I don't think it's as strong. I don't relate to it quite as much as I did, the Annette era or the Tautia era. But having said that, they're still a very solid band, releasing exceptional material. So no critique on the music, the music front or the musicianship. Just hopefully this is not a Troy Donackley vanity project, but we'll have to kind of see what happens with that. They do have a new bass player. Hopefully he's going to be bringing something to the table. They're going to be missing Marco on this album, I hate to say, but hopefully they'll be doing something interestingly with the lyrics as far as Troy and Floor is concerned. And I think that's pretty much what they're down to primarily, or what they're going to be exploring, vocally with the band, unless maybe the new Yuka is going to be doing vocals, the former bass player from Wintersun. Hell, maybe Kai Hutto is going to do vocals, or maybe Tuomas Halopainen will bring out some, old Beauty and the Beast Carpenter vocals. Maybe even Empu, Vornian will do some vocals as well. So it's an interesting album to speculate on, just based on the direction lyrically and musically that they've kind of gone. I'm not expecting anything super groundbreaking, or I'm not expecting to see an old worship of the old Nightwish style or anything like that. And maybe that's not necessary. Let me know what you guys and gals think in the comment section. But it seems based on these track lists, maybe it's not quite as heavily reliant on Richard Dawkins, which is interesting. Maybe it looks maybe a little bit more fantasy-esque. Maybe it's based on some type of mythology. Whether it's Finnish mythology or, just any type of interesting cultural European mythology that might be, bleeding its way into the album. I'm sure there's a little bit of, some scientific save the world type stuff in there, which is kind of interesting. And, it's just very difficult to say. This is one of the most cryptic Nightwish track lists that I've ever heard, but probably once I hear the songs and read the lyrics, it's all going to kind of fall into place, right? But what does that mean exactly, Yesterwind? We could maybe look that up on Google. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but it looks like a epic voyage of time, space, nature, emotion, and time and music. Obviously, when we got the boat kind of going into this weirdly shaped clock, it looks pretty brilliant. We got the Nightwish butterflies. We got all that good stuff. But like I said, I'm not expecting Imaginarum Part 2 or, Century Child. We just made a video. You guys should check it out, called Why You Should Watch or Why You Should Listen to Century Child, the best Nightwish album in my opinion. That's debatable. That statement from me might evolve and change over time. But I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think about this new track list. What do you guys think of the album cover? If I could get a little bit smaller of a version here, so it all fits on the screen. But yeah, this is the news that has been released regarding the new Nightwish album, and they're probably going to release teasers. They haven't, it looks like they're selling the first single, which is, I'm not sure if they've done that before, but maybe they want to get, some financial gain into the first single, which makes sense. You don't want to just release it for free right away, because they probably know everybody's going to listen to the album for free at some point. So interesting album to speculate on. And the fact that Nightwish is not going to be touring, how is this album going to be received? It's going to be an interesting era for Nightwish, to say the least. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.